sit in the camera. If you don't want to sit in the camera, you step back.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. 6:15. You're up.
Okay. Hi, Dr. Mark here for Natural Health. Hope you're having a great day. We're going to finish our month of summer fun tonight. Last couple weeks I've been talking about hydration. I think we've talked enough about that. So now I'm going to talk about more of the foods that are kind of different in the summer. And of course, just as a little review, we're at Natural Health here, a chiropractic and nutrition office. We've been here for over 42 years now, and lots of experience in helping people get well. It's been a lot of fun. So we're going to go into a little more summer fun, talk about that today. So we have the different things going on in the summer, all kind of different activities. A lot of people, of course, don't do during the winter time, even the springtime. So in the summer, you're doing a lot of different things and working different muscles and just active, very active. So you need a lot more nutrition in the summer to help with the body working as compared to the wintertime, just trying to stay warm. So there's a different need of nutrition and foods in the summer than there is in the winter. And of course, just enjoy being out, the different stresses, even like one right now that I get a lot of people talking about is going in and out of air conditioning, where it's so hot outside, and even if you have the air conditioners, we turn ours up about 79 or so, but even that big difference, you come in and you just kind of, like it's a bit cold air, just kind of blast you, and you can get cold real fast. The body has to deal with that stress. And then if you go back out in the heat, then the heat's so hot. Get back in your car, 120 degrees, whatever. So just a lot of differences there in variables the body has to deal with. That's what we talk about so much the last couple weeks about hydration. Make sure you're getting plenty of water and the electrolytes, which is just a fancy word for salt. You can go buy electrolytes, and I get a kick. Talked to somebody before, and they're nurses, and they even didn't know what electrolytes really were. They're just supposed to have them. So it's just kind of interesting. People don't know what electrolytes are. And again, that's just a fancy name for mineral salt or sea salt. It's just a matter of getting the minerals in there that the kidneys can use to move the water. Very important. Again, a lot of different stresses, different types of stresses in the summer. We're starting to gear up for school, so we have kids already thinking about stuff like this, about being stressed, having to deal with all that stuff that goes on there. So again, just a different need for nutrition. Many times stress burns up the B vitamins in the body, so really important to get a good quality B vitamin supplement that your body can absorb. And that's what we do with Center Process Nutrition, using a whole food nutrition company that has all the multiple minerals in there, the cofactors, coenzymes, not just working with a singular synthetic vitamin like from Walmart or something. These are actually foods. It's a whole different animal when you're talking about nutrition as compared to vitamins. Vitamins are more or less a safer drug, and so they just don't work well as far as health long term. They're okay for better symptom relief, but not really long-term health care. We wanted to strengthen the body and get the body to heal itself, actually. So I'm going to talk a little bit about fairs and fair food. So I'm going to work on that a little bit. And so, people go to fairs. Of course, you got to have the corn dog, you got to have the funnel cakes, all that junk. And we're finding over time that sugar, not only sugar is bad news, the refined sugar, of course. Now, if you're getting sugars from fruits and things, that's a little different, but still, fructose is hard for the body to handle. But getting past the refined sugars as a big problem or troublemaker, just as much of a troublemaker is the bad oils. These seed oils that were basically invented to be a machine oil, and they're using those to fry foods because they don't go rancid, like a good oil will if you don't treat it right. So, good old lard, good old tallow was the good oils used for a long time. And so I heard an interesting story at McDonald's French fries. The reason they built their reputation because their French fries were so good, and people didn't know what the secret was. Well, the secret was they made them in lard. And so that, of course, has changed now since all the baloney about saturated fats, which is untrue, but a lot of research now that proves that saturated fats are good for you. The good old fats are the ones you want to use, not the trans fats, the processed seed oils that are just troublemakers because they get into your actual cell wall, replace the actual cell wall in your body, and that causes all kind of problems and lends towards so we want to just be aware of going to fairs, and the body can get by with a little bit, but just loading up on these stuff, weekend after weekend, night after night, all this stuff. I was at a fair the other day, and we were careful to eat what we were supposed to, and we had people in front of us sitting down. And the little boy had a funnel cake. So and he'd been good. He'd been sitting there the whole time, just been great, watching the tractor pulls, having a good time. He got that funnel cake and he ate that thing. He didn't eat it all because he'd probably throw up. But anyway, he just couldn't sit down. I mean, you're looking at bad grease, flour with powdered sugar. I mean, what worse food is there for health? So I thought it was very interesting to see this kid almost change personalities there as he went from sitting down, enjoying, to being like just jumping all around, couldn't sit down, all that kind of stuff. So anyway, just being aware of what these foods do, because foods definitely have a major effect on the body, and especially even long term. That really are the underlying reason why we have all this degenerative disease in our country. Heart disease, cancer, diabetes. Diabetes is just getting worse and worse. So there's a projection, I think, you're going to have like 11 times more diabetics by 2050 something. It's just supposed to go up and up again because people just don't seem to realize what sugar and these bad oils and environmental chemicals and toxins lead to. So we end up with all these problems, all these symptoms that are covered up with medication. So again, our healthcare system is not very good for health. It's great for making money, keeping the insurance companies in business, keeping doctors in business, but it's not so good for healthcare. So you really got to be aware of what's going on there. Of course, we want to have good foods. And something we've learned too, if you have 80% good foods or more, you can kind of get by a little bit and usually doesn't bother too much. But if you keep doing a lot of bad foods over a long enough time, you'll have all kind of problems, all kind of symptoms. And the symptoms are really your body. It's kind of like red light on the dashboard of the car. The symptoms are a way of your body telling you something's wrong in there. And of course, allopathic medicine, that means the opposite of symptoms, uses medication to stop the symptom. That's okay, especially in an emergency situation. You don't want to, have a heart attack and not handle that symptom, but you need to work on the underlying cause of why that was there in the first place. And so we're looking back at, corn dogs and funnel cakes and brownies and ice cream and all the kind of other stuff that goes on out there and how it becomes a troublemaker for the body. Of course, exercise is great, and that's what's really good about summer. You can exercise and then have all kind of fun and all kind of activities outside. But you want to be outside, you want to be in the sunshine. Sunshine's good for you. It has been for millennia. We're hearing this stuff about, go out in the sun, you have skin cancer almost immediately. Well, and it's so much baloney. It's not due to the sun, it's due to that person's immune system failing because they've been eating funnel cakes and hot corn dogs and ice cream and all that kind of junk. The other side, though, of exercise in the summer, sometimes we overdo it. And overdoing it means that you just basically break down muscles and things. With the exercise you're doing, the body doesn't have the ability to heal it back up. So we use a lot of nutritional things here at the office to help with that. If you're getting good proteins in the diet, that's great because that's a good source of that same nutrition. The other side, too, is the things that are harder, some of the hardest things for the body to digest and absorb are proteins and fats. So that's a liver issue, and the deal most people's liver are toxic, again, from funnel cakes, corn dogs, all the stuff that people get into throughout the year. So exercise is important, but just try not to overdo it too much. Again, sunshine, very important to get the sunshine. I was really fascinated over this last week here. It's hot, of course, and it's hot. So, I've heard this climate alarmists all about that. Oh my gosh, it's been the hottest it's ever been for 120,000 years. And, I'm old enough to realize I lived through days where 105, 107, and we even baled hay in that. So, I mean, this is so much baloney out there. So that's why we try at National Health to give people the stuff that actually works, the information that actually works, the information that's been around forever. The things that we do here are not new. They're old, it's old information, but it's information that's worked. Like chiropractic has worked for hundreds of years. Nutrition has been around. I mean, of course, we've eaten good foods. People knew that for millennia. So it's just a thing that you want to use what works, not the most recent fad. I think the one that I've seen that's been the big deal is this drugs for obesity, and they're already getting people now that their stomachs are paralyzed from that, so they can't even eat anything. They throw up all the time. So there's always a side effect of medication. The easy way out is, might seem quick and easy, but eventually it's going to catch up. Medication never helps the body to be healthy. It can force things to work a certain way for a time, but it's going to be robbing Peter to pay Paul. It's going to catch up to you. So we always want to try to do things as naturally as possible. Get back to what it takes to get that body to be healthy, and that is good food, drinking good water, trying to keep your emotions under control, and staying away from heavy stresses, and getting plenty of good sleep, and those kind of things are important with that. Getting good chiropractic care is important too, because that helps to keep the nervous system working correctly so the body can heal itself. Being checked nutritionally, that's how we can tell then how your body's doing. If you don't get checked commonly or often enough, the body will not get well because of all the barriers due to these toxic chemicals, funnel cakes, hot dogs, corn dogs, blah, blah, all that kind of stuff. So it's important to realize that the body is just generally living, and it's always going to run into barriers, and if you can get past that, the body will continue to be well, and you won't age. But if you don't handle those things, you'll age, you'll have more symptoms, you'll have more medications, all these kind of things. We're trying to avoid that negative spiral. We're trying to help patients to get positive and get optimistic and get healthy and have energy. So anyway, I think that's about enough for me tonight. Again, summer's always a happy time, I think. I've always enjoyed the heat, but we know it's coming. If you're going to live in the Midwest, you're going to have 4 seasons, and that's okay too. But again, enjoying the sunshine, enjoy the summer, and we'll have fun there, and we'll head into fall eventually. So I think that's enough for me tonight. Hopefully you got something out of that. If you have any questions, always give us a call here. We do have free consultations. We talk to patients about, maybe prospective patients about what we do here, how can we help, and kind of an explanation of more what we're doing here, getting the information out that works for health, not the fad, not what's paid for by insurance, but actually what helps people to be healthy. So we're here to help with that. Don't forget to get on our website. We do have a blog we send out every week. You can sign up there, put your email in there. We'll send out information every week in just 1 week. We don't go crazy with those. So we want people to try to learn how to be healthy. And then we have the free consultations. I think that's enough for me. So I'll turn it over to Dr. Chip before I ramble on any further. Have a great the rest of July and a great August, and we'll see you next Monday. Great.
All right, thank you. Okay, so Dr. Mark explained more about the food and nutrition side. I'm going to explain more about the nervous system, a little bit of chiropractic, but just really, again, how your body can adapt and heal optimally, but actually just to be able to be healthy throughout the summertime, but again, all year long. I'm Dr. Chip, by the way. Okay, so stress relief, again, we have to know what stress comes from or how it's brought about. So again, there's 3 kinds of stress. Again, physical, trauma, nutritional, chemical, and emotional and thoughts. Now, again, just kind of like anything, you kind of break these down. But say again, if you're working out like crazy, say you're working out 5 hours a day, 7 days a week, that might be too much physical activity for your body to handle, and that's too much stress for your body to overcome. So then you start you say breaking down, you start having health issues or pain, all that too, because your body's not able to adapt. Nutritional and chemical, now again, there are different aspects here. So the chemical, or you would say a poison, you could say that if, say you drank a little strychnine, that is not good for your body, of course, but your body cannot adapt to that, So that poison could possibly kill or damage the body too far to where actually you die there. Or it can be a subtle chemical, but again, too much of it can cause issues. So take for instance caffeine or coffee. Now again, in moderation or in small amounts, it can actually stimulate different things and can actually act as a nutrition for your body. Again, it helps promote good blood flow and all that too. But again, if you do too much of it, it can act as a harmful chemical. It can almost be too much for your body to handle, and that's when you start to notice that anxious feeling or the low energy levels, or you're kind of going way high and dips, all that too. So again, just another thing for the body. So another stress there. And then your emotional and thoughts, again, sometimes we get kind of stuck in ruts, or we're not able to take a breath, relax, all that too. So that can play a factor. Now, of course, there are different ways to address the different areas there too. But in the main thing, or the main idea there too, is just good, healthy, positive thoughts typically lead to the expression of the body being good. Negative thoughts or fearful thoughts can actually decrease your energy levels and decrease your body's ability to heal properly. And so again, it's kind of going back to like more kind of the fear, or the fear of sickness, or the faith in your health there too. So the brain, again, very important organ of our body. Again, it's the coordinator. It coordinates all the systems of your body. It helps your body to run efficiently. But why I put this up here is because it's more of how our brain is interpreting data. So again, how does our brain do that? Your 5 senses. Again, you have your sight, smell, taste, touch, and hearing. Now, again, everybody looks at the world a little differently based on their different information that they picked up, their upbringings. So they might perceive the world a little differently based on those 5 senses. Now again, if your brain and body are not balanced out well based on too much of this stress here, that can cause your brain and body not to function optimally, and then you perceive the world differently. It's not as well, or it actually could be more fearful or chaotic, all that too. But again, a good healthy brain and body, went too far? Well, maybe that's on here. But a good healthy brain and body will be able to respond to things appropriately. So it's kind of more of how our brain is able to interpret data, and if it's overreacting to things, that means that our brain and body are out of sync, are out of balance. And so something like a roller coaster could be very stressful. And again, there's little different things about how people look at different things here. But a roller coaster can be very fun for people. It can be actually very entertaining. You can see all the happy faces on here, having a good time. But it can also be almost too much, to where it's kind of overreacting to the system. Now again, roller coaster is a pretty extreme thing. Some people don't like them at all, and that's okay. But the main thing is just, that's an example. Now there are some things that, common day-to-day things that we get too stressed out about, that might be because your brain and body are out of sync or not working properly. So again, we want to make sure that's good, especially because these are kind of some fun summer things to do. So if you've never been on a roller coaster, I would recommend it. It's a lot of fun. Okay, autonomic nervous system here too. Again, we've explained this before, but again, it's just different modes of your nervous system. This is a very brief way to put it, but again, we have more of a fight or flight mode and more of a rest and digest. They're both important because you need both of them for different things. So again, your fight, flight, or freeze is kind of more of if there's danger or threat in your immediate environment. So we need to be able to do these things in order to resist or be able to flee or get away from something that's life-threatening. So it's like if you're on a cliff, you don't want to jump, or you don't want to kind of keep walking. You want to be able to sense that, so your sympathetic nervous system kicks in, so you're able to come back a little bit. And that's kind of more just helpful there. Now your parasympathetic nervous system is going to rest and digest. It helps your body to be able to absorb the nutrition that you get from your foods. It's able to help you build your body back up, so that again, you're able to heal more effectively there too. That's kind of more for your immune system there too. So again, just a little tidbits here, but again, summer fun, we need to find some things that we're able to have a little recreation, a little play. Recreation, again, if you can kind of see that word, recreating, you're able to do things that you want to do. So it could be creating something, it could be different drawing, or it could be building something, different projects, something that you enjoy doing. Getting outside, again, we kind of talked about good fresh air, breathing, sunlight there too. So again, there's a lot of natural ways for our bodies to regulate and get things back on track. But we've kind of, in general, kind of made it so extreme or so not simplistic or complicated that we forget that it's our bodies that are doing all the work. They're actually self-healing and self-regulating. We just have to allow that to happen properly and again, support it along the way. So like we said too, a healthy brain equals a healthy body. And again, being able to be more creative and logical and balance that out properly, depending on the person's needs or wants, is good for your overall health. And again, summer is a great time for that. So the benefits of summer are just in general, but these have good benefits here. Challenging yourself, again, doing different tasks that might be a little uncomfortable or kind of pushing your comfort level or comfort zone. That's actually it can be a good stress for your brain and body. Now again, if you do that too much all the time, that can be kind of overwhelming. But those things are kind of not just like a physical thing, it would be more of you're stressing your muscles so that you can get stronger and have more endurance. But even like a mental activity where you're stressing, you're doing something new, a new activity, all that. So that's, again, a good thing. Gaining a skill, again, it helps your brain to rewire in different ways. And so that your brain is actually making new neural connections when you're learning a new skill. And then again, that helps your brain and body to balance out well. We just said learning something new and talk to someone you don't know. This is just important because we need to connect more. I think as a whole or a nation or country or group, we tend to think that we are so connected through internet and social media, but we are more of a disconnect. And you can see that with different chronic health issues, kids and all that too. So we have to make sure that we actually gain this skill, is actually just being able to talk to people. And then again, think about it, mindset, life is too short not to enjoy it. I put this up before, but again, just going back to that too, is that finding time to enjoy yourself, even if it's activities that might seem hard or stressful, we can actually change the way we see things, and actually that can help us to enjoy it more. So again, it takes a little mind shift set sometimes, but again, that's kind of how we can actually better help our nervous system to work properly. Okay, so short and sweet, that's all from me here. Again, you can follow us at Natural Health Quincy IL at Facebook, YouTube, Brighteon, and Instagram. This is Rumble. I don't know if we're quite on that anymore. You can subscribe to our email list at naturalhealthquincy.com. We're located at 2000 Jefferson Street in Quincy, Illinois, and the number is 217-228-2040. So again, that is it for the summer fun for July. Stay tuned for more as we go into August for a new topic. Thanks for watching and enjoy the rest of your July. Thanks.